Now you're trying to kill me and take my life. For what? For what? People lying on each other. You got caught up in something, but now you're gonna lie. Hey, your name. So, because you know my name, you know my friends for so long, you know all this information. Because you got caught up, and because you know that I'm not on what you want, you gave the police my information. Save your life. Why you lie on me? Lying destroys relationships. 6 things Yahweh hate. Proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood. Innocent blood. It's a real simple solution. It's a simple solution to a lot of murders that's taking place in this city. All we need to do is real simple. If you killed an innocent life, you took somebody about you, deleted somebody innocent, relinquish your life. Jails will begin to be empty. Crime rate will begin to go down because no one wants to give up their life. Relinquish your life. Stop killing innocent people for nothing. And I was telling them to start in the government, start in the police department, start in the life must stop. Senseless killings must stop. I mean, we dying senseless out here, y'all. And for what? Somebody got on a pair of shoes better than yours? For what? Because you perceive this person to be somebody that they're not? Because you perceive them to be that. Right. Oh, because they look nice, they cleaned up, so you perceive that they got a whole lot of money on them, and they just put that whole outfit together from the Goodwill. But because they look real nice and look real good, because they knew how to take care of their stuff, you perceive them to be something that they're not, so you kill them and trying to take their possession? Come on, man. Hands that's quick to shed innocent blood, Yahweh don't like that. And if you one of those people who like to shed innocent blood, kill yourself. You know what I'm saying? Do us all a favor. You know, we're tired of seeing the streets filled with blood. Tired of it. You know, you can only talk about it for so much. But people begin to do something about it. But, you know, 6 things Yahweh hate. And who else? It ain't just 6 things Yahweh hate, because men hate it too. Men hate it. Who like a bully? I don't like seeing nobody getting bullied on. I'm one of them people. Let this be a warning. I am one of them people. If I'm in the street and I see you abusing a handicapped person, a mentally MRD, for the lack of the word, someone that's mental impaired or whatever, I'm that person that will smack the heck out of you. I will do it. I am him. Don't be abusing my elders in the streets, because I'm the person that's gonna say something to you. I promise you I will. And it's my fault, because I don't think a lot of times when it comes to that. Don't abuse people for no reason, man. And some of these people can't help themselves. Right, sure can. Now, some of these people are real handicaps out here. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing boring me up more than anything. To see one of them out here being abused. We'll go to war. Yeah. I take that to heart. My uncle suffered from Wilson syndrome. I take that to heart seriously. Yeah. You ain't even got to do nothing. Raise your voice wrong, and I'm in your face. Don't play. And these babies, right. I don't play with babies either. I don't care if I don't know you. Right. I don't care if I don't know you. That child 1 year old, 2 years old. Mm-hmm. Don't do it around me. Right. I don't care. I know that's right. I'm going to say something to you. Yeah. And I'm going to be boisterous about it. I don't care. Because I love my Yah. And I love his people. And I love these children out here. Don't be this. I don't like disrespect, man. Right. I'm not a person that tolerate a lot of disrespect. Right. No one do I say what I say, I mean what I say. And if I'm wrong, hey, I admit I'm wrong because I'm a man. I ain't got no problem saying I'm wrong. I ain't got no problems apologizing for a wrong that I do, for an error that I make. I'm going to stand up and own it. And see, men got to get back to being that. It's too many. And see, that's the problem. See, it ain't so much the problem that the women, see, let's be honest. Brothers, can we be honest? Can we be honest, brothers? It ain't so much that the women are the way that they are, because the way that they are is because the men turned into a bunch of dang on punks. Men got real soft, real quiet. Granted, you was raised by your mama and your daddy wasn't in your home, but what about your uncles? What about your cousins, your big cousins? What was them? All them men. All these women got men in these families. So where were we at, men? Somebody wasn't stepping up to the plate. Somebody want to take care of what needed to be taken care of. Now, men can make all kinds of excuses that you want to make. I'm a man that raised my kids. Because you ain't no man gonna raise me. I know that's right. You're mine. That came out of my loins. I just planted it in your seed. I just planted it in your soil. Right. But that's mine. Yeah, you carried it for 9 months, and yes, you gave birth to him, but don't ever get it twisted. That's my seed. Yeah. That seed belonged to me. Yes, sir. When you see him, you looking at me. Yes, sir. I ain't looking at you, you looking at me. You see some of you in him, but you looking at me. Yeah. That's mine. Yeah. And you gonna deny me my seed? No, you ain't. Because I'm taking mine. No court system. No, that's mine, and they're coming with me. Go do what you do. See, man, that's what y'all got to get on. All this wishy-washy. She let her raise him. Let her raise him. Hell, he ain't on the TV no more. Get him. Right. Get her. Mm-hmm. That's your seed. Yes, sir. Raise your seed. Let her be the one to come visit on the weekend. Let her be the one to get them on the weekend. You raise them. You make sure they get to school. You make sure they got food on the table every single day of the week. You make sure of that. Let her do the less. But see, that role got switched around. The women doing the most and the men doing the less. Yeah. But you complaining because she said we equal. I'm just trying to bring it all the way home for you. I'm just trying to help you understand where you at in all this, young man. Because a lot of y'all gonna grow up and want a woman. You gonna grow up and want a household. Let me be the first one to tell you. Get your money right. Get your career right. Get your house right. Then worry about her. If you ain't got no money, you ain't got no house, you ain't got no career, keep your thing in your pants. Quit making babies out here you can't take care of. Yeah, right. And sisters, quit laying down with these damn bums. You keep opening yourself up to this dude, and you know he can't take care of you. You know he can't take care of no kid. You see he ain't even the father material. Right. But you laying down with him because he ha you. Hey, he's so funny. Oh, you so silly. And girl, you don't go sit your hot tail down some damn nowhere and then crying because you pregnant. Crying because you done had a baby. Right. Yeah. Now you mad because this man ain't got nothing to do with you, but you already knew he didn't want nothing to do with you. Man. But you laid down with him anyway. Oh, blame it on the alcohol. I was just too tipsy. I was drunk. Oh, he put something in my drink. Oh, you know, we was smoking that bubonic plague, and I got so high. Whoa, I couldn't. Come on, man. I don't care about all them excuses. That's an excuse. That was an excuse for you to do something, to bring hate upon yourself, because you lied to yourself. You lied to yourself to get with this man. You lied to yourself about this man. You lied to yourself about this woman. You knew she was a thought, but you lied to yourself and say, oh no, I like her. I'm gonna make her my wife. You knew this man wasn't no good, but you was like, oh nah. He got some good qualities about himself. I can see him, girl. Come on, man. Come on, man. This woman don't even like mamas. Hell no, I don't want to meet your mama. Girl, I like you, girl. They don't even want to meet your mama. You don't even want to meet your sister, but you talking about I like you, girl. No, I don't like families. I don't deal with Boy, nah, I'm by myself. I don't do all that. I can't stand people and all that. That ain't me. But you all into it. Girl, shoot. She's showing you all that flesh. You just, eyes just out here. Yeah. Girl, shoot, I like you. Come on, man. All this lying to yourself, showing all these proud looks, quick to run and shed innocent blood. And then you let your heart devise wicked imagination to yourself. See, that's a wicked imagination. You up here telling yourself somebody good and they ain't even good. You up here imagine you done live the whole fantasy in your head with this person. And this person ain't thinking twice about you. This person can't even stand you. You was just something for them to do at that moment and at that time. But 6 things Yahweh does hate. We do hate them. And 7 of them is an abomination. Feet that be swift and running the mischief. They'll go fight. Soon. Run out down there to that fight. Pow, pow, pow. Yeah. I wonder why you got shot. Damn. Oh, such and such got shot. Now they named the street after him. Yeah, sure did. Yeah, I remember like it was yesterday. Because we quick and you know what? It ain't. See, these are things that we allow to fester generations ago. This is where today they are just out in the open with it. See, back in the day we used to run the fights. You know, back in my day was the war on drugs. That's when it started. You know, this is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. I remember that. McGruff the crime dog. Yeah. Take a bite out of crime. Yeah. All the programs came up with us, man. The program came up with me, you know, people that's in my age bracket, my age group. You know, today it ain't even a war on drugs. It's how much drugs can you get. People are running to this, running to mischief. What we think this is mischief. You know what I'm saying? You get some money, you run straight to the dope man. Get some money, run straight to the bar. Running mischief, man. You're doing all kinds of filthiness in your own imagination, in your head. A lot of things that we do to ourselves is done in our head. We destroy yourself from within. You allow your mindset to run rampant. You create wicked imaginations. Yahweh said it's the thoughts of a man that lead you away from the law. It's your own thoughts. It's your own doing. It's your own ways, your own imagination. It's your own self. And a false witness. Can't stand somebody. You know what? It's too many false witnesses. It's too many people that are witness. People will witness for a false thing before they witness for a right thing. And that's sad. That's sad. People will cheer for some wickedness before they cheer for some righteousness. It's a wicked thing for a man to appear as a woman and compete in a woman's event. That's wicked. That's wicked. And they thought it was right. And they praised that. They praised that. It's a man racing women. Because you think you're a man? Because you're a man and you think you're a woman? A false witness, though. A false witness. You said that I broke into that house. They came to you and they said, hey, I saw him break into that house and steal them people's stuff. And you was like, yes, I was there with him too. I saw him do it also. And you weren't even around. You took he said, she said, and you was like, yep, and that's what happened. How you know that's what happened? Such and such said that this what happened and that's what happened. But why are you witnessing? Was you there? I ain't have to be there to know that it happened. Because they said it happened. And I'm a witness to it that it happened. It don't work like that, man. It don't work like that. But them false witnesses are out here. It's people witnessing that a dead man can save your life. It's people witnessing that you can do what you want to do. And there's no repercussions. People are witnessing to this. People are witnessing. You can put all this plastic in your body and nothing's going to happen. You want bigger breasts? You can get them. Want bigger butt? You can get them. Want some muscles? Take this shot. And you'll be big as Lou Ferrigno or Arnold Schwarzenegger. You're going to be huge. Just take this shot. But then they'll tell you the effects of this. This false. These muscles is false. These are not real muscles. These are induced. But then your heart gave out. Because you pumping falseness in you. They had to cut your limbs off. Because you put this silicone in you. Matter of fact, they ain't even using silicone. They using some man-made stuff that they came up with and created because it was a lot cheaper to do, and they just stuffed it in you. They getting injection shots like they basing a turkey. People are doing these things with no consideration. No consideration. That's what I'm saying. We're doing things without considering. There's no regard for tomorrow. We believe that life is guaranteed and we're going to wake up every day we close our eyes. Nothing can happen to me. We're going through this life all backwards and wrong, brothers and sisters. And we need to wake up. We need to get to living life because Yahweh gave us life. Exodus 20 was the key. Learn how to live in this and do righteous and do good. Do good. Man, it ain't hard to do good. They made us believe that though. They made us believe it's hard to do good. But it's easy to do evil. And everybody walk around like that today. They call good bad and they call bad good. That's how it go down though, right? Man, praise the Most High Yah. Well, I ain't gonna keep running my mouth and keep up here just yappity yap yap. I'm just holding time. That's all I'm up here to do is to hold some time. Share a little bit, I share a little bit, but you know, I just want people to consider, man. I just want you to consider. And consider this, while you pondering over everything, while you looking and thinking about everything, you know, while you going through your typical day in your life, consider this. Go to Isaiah 57. Consider this. Because we don't consider. We don't consider nothing for real. It takes something to happen to us for us to start considering. What I'm trying to tell you is don't wait for it to happen. Don't wait for something to happen to you before you start to consider. You know, it's just like your finances. Do you know, to all my young folks out there, I want y'all to be so wealthy. See, the things that I learned yesterday is the things that I'm sharing with you all today. See, I'm not a wealthy man, but I found out how to be wealthy. I got the formula and I know the secret to wealth. I know the key to success. I know how you can be a millionaire. I know ways that if you implement them in your life today, right now, while you're working, right now, take advantage of your youth right now. I know that by the time you hit 40, 50, and 60 years old, your life will be like none other you ever seen before. I know in this day and age and in this time right now that for a young man at y'all ages right now, $100,000 is gonna be the norm for a bank account. Right. Because if you ain't got that in your account, you ain't even gonna be operating in society. That's what it's coming to. You know what I'm saying? So all you young folks out there, listen to me. If you want to be rich, you want to be comfortable, you want to have a little bit of money in your bank account, don't get caught up in the mindset of what's going on today. Save your money. I'm not talking about putting it in a mattress. Because see, that's what we thought was when they told us to save our money when we was coming up. That's what we thought they meant. We thought save your money meant put it in the mattress, put it in the old TV, in the shoebox, stuff it up in the closet, put it in the jacket of a suit or something like that, you know what I mean? Or, stockpile it in the bank. That's not what they're talking about, brothers and sisters. They're talking about investing. They're talking about putting your money in places where your money can work for you, where your money can begin to grow. Assets, real estate, land, investing your money in companies, doing something with your money, investing your money, putting your money into an IRA, find a financial advisor, seek them out, start learning how to build a financial house. You got advisors around you, you got advisors amongst you. Someone can help you get your income right. Because the thing you don't understand is called compound interest. The thing you don't understand is a little bit goes a very long way. And once you start building momentum, that is what actually carries over. That's what actually builds up. So you need to start putting away money. Do you know? I'm going to let a big secret out. Do you know if you can save $200 a month? If you can save $200, if you can make $200 a day, you'll make $100,000 in a year. $200 a week, you'll make $100,000. Say $200 a week, you'll make $100,000 in a year. Save up, guaranteed thing. But if you can do $200 a month, by the time you turn 60, you'll have over $1 million saved. That's just $200 a month. I'm just saying. If you want some money, see, Joseph laid out the formula in Egypt. He told us, pay yourself first. See, we've been taught, pay your bills, take care of this, take care of that, and then whatever left over is yours. That's backwards. That's wrong. You get paid first. Pay yourself a 10 first. Then you divvy out everything else. Because if you paid yourself a 10 every time you got paid, and you put that up and you didn't touch that, just imagine where it'll go. Just think about it. If you pick up 10 eggs every day, you get 10 eggs out of your hen house. You sell all but one egg. You keep that one egg. Over time, how many eggs are you going to have left over? You're going to have a whole bunch of eggs left over time because you selling 9, but you keeping 1. And that 1 going to always add up. That's saving money. That's saving for your future. Start saving for your future today. Don't wait till you're 30 years old, 40 years old, got kids. Tell me I'm about to start saving. That's wrong. That's too late. You start saving right now. Aggressively. You still at home with moms. You still at home with pops. Why are you spending all your money? Save your money for your future. Think about what you want to do down the road. Think about where you want to be when you turn 40, when you turn 50 years old. What kind of lifestyle do you want to have? Are you thinking about when you get married? Are you thinking about when you're going to have a family? If you're thinking about the things, when you're going to start saving for that now? Don't wait to save for that. Save for that now. Put up for that right now. Put that up. Consider it. Consider. Let us get on with it. Get on with it. Hallelujah. Isaiah 57. Consider. That's all this is about. Consider. Because no one is considering. The righteous perish, and no man layeth the heart. And merciful men are taken away, but none considering that the righteous is taken away from the evil to come. He shall enter into peace. They shall rest in their beds, each one walking in his uprightness. But draw near hither, ye sons of sorcerers, the seed of the adulterer and the whore. Against whom do you sport yourselves? Against whom make ye a wide mouth and draw out the tongue? Are ye not children of transgression and seed of falsehood? Consider, brothers and sisters, consider that the righteous are taken away for an evil that is to come. Consider that. Consider the future may not necessarily be what you think it's going to be. Consider. Consider now and start preparing and putting away for your future. Consider that. Don't wait. Don't procrastinate on your future. It's your future. You working right now. You still trying to find your way. Money is a defense. And if you got money, you're going to be able to do a lot more things than you can without money. Because those who say, I don't need a lot of money, that's because they broke already. I promise you, they broke. And they don't know what it's like to have money. That's why they say you don't need a lot of money. But you need money. I don't care what nobody say. You need money. Money is a defense. Money will help you in a lot of your adventures. And a lot of things that you want to do and accomplish, you're going to need money. Yeah, they make the argument, okay, this is the time we in right now. We ain't in the barter system right now. But the barter system is still very much relevant. Don't get it twisted. People still use the barter system today. But you still need money. You need money and you need a skill, young man. You need a skill. You need to know how to do something with your hands. You need to know how to fix things. For how you're going to be the king of your household if you can't prepare nothing. And hey, if you got money, you ain't got to worry about it. You can hire somebody. But if you plan on being one of them people who don't plan on having a whole lot of money, you better get busy learning. Because you're going to need your hands. And that's going to make you a lot of money. All right? Praise the Most High, y'all. I want to thank you all for allowing me this little bit of time to stand here and to share the word with you and to get a little bit of space, a little bit of everything. I just praise the Most High, y'all. I'm thankful. I'm happy to be here. And without any further ado, brothers and sisters, go ahead and start clapping your hands. Put them together right now. And let's get ready to bring them up. Moray and Ron. Hallelujah.
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 Praise the mighty Yah.
Praise the mighty Yahweh.
And Yah is righteous
Yahweh is righteous
all the time.
all the time.
Be seated. Giving all thanks, all praise, all glory, and honor to the Holy One of Israel, whose name alone is Yah, by saying hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Bless his holy and divine name, to the true and living Elohim, he who was, who is, and who forever shall be, exalted in honor and glory and majesty. And all praise is to be given unto him and him alone. Bless him and thank him this day for his mercy, for his loving kindness and his favor, which he has shown even to 1,000 generations. We praise the Most High Yah, magnify him, honor him, for he is great and greatly to be praised. Thank him for this day in the land of the living, day which we have not seen in its entirety, neither will we see it again. God, thank you, God. So praise be unto Yah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
I want to say Shabbat Shalom to all within the congregational halls.
Shabbat shalom.
Giving thanks unto Yah. Hoping this day finds you in good spirit, body, and mind.
Hallelujah.
Again, say Shabbat Shalom to all those listening by way of all social media. We pray that this day too finds you in good body, mind, and spirit. I know I'm going to be dehydrated. They watered me down. That the Almighty has shined his favor upon you as well. So Shabbat Shalom. As I come to the podium, are there any questions from anyone that they wish to ask or may have been asked in my absence? Questions? Yes, sir, young man. Hallelujah.
I got a question.
Let's give him that. Thank you.
I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing my own studies. I'm in Second Kings now, but when I was in First Kings chapter 2, I was reading when Adoniah, I don't know if I'm not saying his name right, but I was reading when Adoniah had asked Bathsheba, the mother of Solomon, to entreat of him that he get Shunammite to wife, and Solomon ended up telling Benaiah to kill him. So I was wondering why he did that, and I was wondering if Adoniah was trying to overthrow Solomon smoothly. That was my first question. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
And my second question was, how do you attain wisdom like Solomon? Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
So the young man had two questions. one concerning Adoniah, and the other concerning the wisdom of Solomon. All right, very good. Anyone else? No one else? Anything off of the internet? Nothing? All right, brother. Well, then we will embark. Upon your question, found in 1 Kings chapter 2. Let's go there.
First Kings chapter 2. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Now, to understand, and you was asking about Adoniah, and his wanting of Abishai or Abishai. Is that what you was, or ask the question again? Maybe I didn't hear you right.
I was wondering about why Solomon had Adoniah give Benaiah for asking him to give. I believe her name was Shunammite daughter.
No, a Shunammite is who she was. That's who she was. But her name was Abishai. So let's start.
First Kings chapter 2, verse 1. Now the days of David drew nigh that he should die. And he charged Solomon his son, saying, I go the way of all the earth. Be thou strong, therefore, and show thyself a man, and keep the charge of Yahweh thy Elohim, to walk in his ways, to keep his statutes and his commandments, and his judgments, and his testimonies, as it is written in the laws of Moses, that thou mayest prosper in all that thou doest, and whithersoever thou turnest thyself, that Yahweh may continue his word which he spake concerning me, saying, if thy children take heed to their way, to walk before me in truth with all their heart and with all their soul, there shall not fail thee a man on the throne of Israel.
Confirming that David himself is a prophet.
Hallelujah.
Not only king, he's not only prince. People don't understand, but David himself is a prophet. For he said, and he repeats again, that Yahweh may continue his word, which what?
Spake concerning me,
Which he spake concerning me,
saying, if thy children take heed to their way, to walk before me in truth with all their heart and with all their soul, there shall not fail thee a man on the throne of Israel. Moreover,
and he spoke this to the prophet Nathan, but he also spoke this to David. So David knew this. And that's why he told his son Solomon, you must show yourself strong in order that the Almighty may bring upon you everything which he have professed and proclaimed to me. And the covenant he have made with me, because that's what he's referencing. Go ahead.
that Yahweh may continue his word, which he spoke, verse 5. Moreover, thou knowest also what Joab, the son of Zeruiah, did to me.
You know what Joab, the son of Zeruiah, did to me. Mm-hmm.
And what he did to the two captains of the host of Israel, unto Abner, the son of Ner, and unto Amasa, the son of Jether, whom he slew, and shed the blood of war in peace.
And he shed the blood of war when it was a time of peace. So he thought he was doing a good deed on my behalf, but he wasn't. He shed innocent blood. He shed blood of war
Upon his girdle
in peace.
Oh, yeah.
And put the blood of war upon his girdle that was about his loins, in his shoes that were on his feet. Yes.
Do therefore according to thy wisdom, and let not his whore head go down to the grave in peace.
Don't let them gray hairs depart in peace.
But show kindness unto the sons of Barzillai and Gilead, Barzillai the Gileadite, and let them be of those that eat at thy table. For so they came to me when I fled because of Absalom, thy brother. And behold, thou hast with thee Shimei, the son of Giriah, a Benjamite of Bahurim, which cursed me with a grievous curse in the day when I went to Mahanaim. But he came down to meet me at Jordan, and I swore to him by Yahweh, saying, I will not put thee to death with the sword. Now therefore, hold him not guiltless.
I couldn't do it because I had my own guilt I was dealing with from the situation which I caused by taking Uriah's wife. And the Almighty showed me great mercy. And in the mercy he showed me, he softened me. And I couldn't, when this man cursed me before this incident, the spirit I would have had, yes, I myself would have went up there and he would have been a dead man. He said, but after the Almighty has showed me mercy, I have a different kind of spirit now. And I couldn't bring myself to touch him. But Solomon, my son,
now therefore, hold him not guiltless.
you don't hold him guiltless.
For thou art a wise man and knowest what thou oughtest to do unto him.
Yeah, you're wise, and you know what you ought to do. You know what George Bush, you know what he said? He said, make fun of my daddy.
Uh-huh.
When he really told the truth about why he wanted to go to war, he said, make fun of my daddy. And then that's why part of the reason why he really wanted to go to war. They offended my daddy.
Yep.
It wasn't about no weapons of mass destruction. It was about the honor of his father.
Yep.
He said, man, they up there talking about my dad. He said, I got the answer to that. I wouldn't be his son coming to the presidency if I don't answer that. So, yes, they have weapons of mass destruction, but don't get to it. This about my daddy. When I'm buying, we're going to write my daddy's initials on there and drop it right on him. And that's what David said. He said, okay, but it don't excuse the fact this man blasphemed the king and cursed the king. And son, I raised you to take over on things. You know what to do. You know what to do. And now it's your time. And since it's your time, hold him what? Not guiltless. For you are wise.
And knowest what thou oughtest to do unto him.
Mm-hmm.
But his hoary head bring thou down to the grave with blood.
Yeah.
So David slept with his fathers.
Father David died.
And was buried in the city of David.
Mm-hmm.
And the days that David reigned over Israel were 47 years. Reigned he in Hebron. And 33 years reigned he in Jerusalem.
He reigned 40 years total. 7 of those years did he reign in Hebron. And 33 of those years, the rest of his years, the 33 did he reign at Jerusalem.
Then sat Solomon upon the throne of David his father, and his kingdom was established greatly.
Mm-hmm.
And Adoniah, the son of Haggith, came to Bathsheba, the mother of Solomon.
Yes.
And she said, comest thou peacefully?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, peaceably. And said, moreover, I have somewhat to say unto thee. And she said, say on. And he said, thou knowest that the kingdom was mine, and that all Israel set their faces on me, that I should reign.
Yeah.
Howbeit the kingdom is turned about, and has become my brother's, for it was his from Yahweh. And now I ask one petition of thee, deny me not. And she said unto him, say on. And he said, speak, I pray thee, unto Solomon the king, for he will not say thee nay, that he give me Abishai.
Speak to your son.
The Shunammite wife.
Because what son don't want to please his mother? So you go talk to your son and ask him that he give me Abishai, the Shunammite, to wife. Mm-hmm.
And Bathsheba said, well, I will speak for thee unto the king. Bathsheba therefore went unto King Solomon to speak unto him for Adoniah. And the king rose up to meet her, and bowed himself unto her, and sat down on his throne, and caused a seat to be set for the king's mother. And she sat on his right hand. Then she said, I desire one small petition of thee. I pray thee, say me not nay. And the king said unto her, ask on, my mother, for I will not say thee nay. And she said, let Abishai, the Shunammite, be given to Adonijah, thy brother, to wife. And King Solomon answered and said unto his mother, and why doest thou ask Abishai, the Shunammite, for Adoniah? As for him the kingdom also?
Because there's a fly in the ointment. Why are you here, mother, asking that Adoniah, my brother, have one of our father's wives. Because there's a fly in the ointment. See, Solomon, when Absalom wanted all Israel to know that he had took over, what did he do?
Slept with his father's wives.
He took his father's wives in front of all Israel. Because it was looked upon, I don't want sisters to hear this the wrong way, but it was looked upon as things being transferred, the kingdom being transferred. Same way that the Almighty, so I don't really have to apologize because that's just the way things were. We might not understand today, but that's the way things were. Same way that when the Almighty transferred the kingdom from Saul to David, he told David, and he mentioned to David, what did he tell him? Anybody know what he told him? Anybody?
Take them to Saul's wives. Take all of Saul's household.
Yes, he didn't tell him to take them, but he told him, he said, I have given you the wives of Saul and all of his possessions, because this signifies a transference of the kingdom. So for this young man to come and ask for a wife of David is to give him what they call nowadays clout and credence. Remember, let's put all this together. Let's deconstruct and reconstruct. Remember what it's talking about. Go back to verse 15 of the same chapter.
First Kings chapter 2, verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, thou knewest that the kingdom was mine, and that all Israel set their faces on me, that I should reign. Howbeit the kingdom is turned about, and has become my brother's, for it was his from Yahweh.
Yes, he had aspirations. Hold this, to put it all together, hold this, and let's go to the first chapter. See, this young fellow is very ambitious. And he's very wise. All the sons, you talk about how did Solomon get the wisdom that he got? Well, I tell you how they received it. Sister have a song. Your mama have a song.
Yeah.
Say, I get it from my Abba.
That's right.
They were blessed by the Almighty, but part of their wisdom come by way of being around their father. That's what a father is supposed to give.
That's right.
He's supposed to give knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. That my brother quoted earlier. That's why he said money is a defense. It said, and wisdom is a defense. But the difference between wisdom and money is that wisdom, it excels money because it gives life. It can maintain life. It can give life. Money don't necessarily maintain or give life. Money, as my brother said, can become a hindrance. To be prosperous can become a hindrance. So in its rightful place, yes, it has a defense, but people also will look at money and it can make you a target.
Yep.
Wisdom. You can be wise and have the eyes. This is what the people elders call the unseen eye. You can be wise and have the unseen eye because of wisdom. Because of wisdom. So, and there's a wisdom that make one wise, and there's a cunning wisdom that one uses even when they are being wicked.
Yes, sir.
So this little fella here, let's set this backdrop, because to understand fully what's going on, we have to go to 1. Go to chapter 1.
Yes, sir.
Because you're even going to find out who this Abishag is. chapter 1, verse 1.
Hallelujah. Now King David was old and stricken in years, and they covered him with clothes, but he got no heat. Wherefore his servant said unto him, let there be sought for my master, the king, a young virgin, and let her stand before the king, and let her cherish him, and let her lie in thy bosom, that my master the king may get heat. So they sought for a fair damsel throughout all the coast of Israel, and found Abishai, a Shunammite, and brought her to the king. And the damsel was very fair, and cherished the king, and ministered to him. But the king knew her not. Then Adoniah, the son of Haggith, exalted himself, saying, I will be king. And he prepared him chariots and horsemen and 50 men to run before him.
So he wants the young woman that was brought in to take care of David when he was sick. That's what he wants. And that's what he craves. The fair young damsel to take care of David. And Adoniah, seeing that his father was sick, 5th verse, prepared him what?
Prepared him chariots
Mm-hmm.
and horsemen and 50 men to run before him.
Now, let's hold this. But we got to go line upon line. Now, Absalom, we can't account for him because Absalom is already what? He's already dead.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes, he is.
He's gone. Amnon is already what? He's gone. But out of all the sons of David left, this fella is the one that's most ambitious. For David had other sons. We'll find them in 1 Chronicles, 3rd chapter. Nice little study.
1 Chronicles, chapter 3.
Verse 1.
Hallelujah. Now these were the sons of David, which were born unto him in Hebron. The firstborn, Amnon, of Ahinoam, the Yezerites, and the second, Daniel, of Abigail, the Carmelites.
He had a son named Daniel. Huh? The book of Daniel, the prophet Daniel is not the only Daniel in the scriptures. He had a son, David had a son, he named him Daniel. Yes.
The third, Absalom, the son of Maacah, the daughter of Talmiel, king of Gershon.
Mm-hmm.
The fourth, Adoniah, the son of Haggith. The fifth, Shephatiah of Abital. The sixth, Ithraim, by Eglah, his wife. These 6 were born unto him in Hebron, and there he reigned 7 years and 6 months. And in Jerusalem he reigned 33 years. And these were born unto him in Jerusalem: Shimea, and Shobal, and Nathan, and Solomon, 4 of Bashur, the daughter of Amiel. Ibhar also, and Elishama, and Eliphelet, and Nogar,
Nepheg,
and Nepheg,
and Yaphia,
and Naphia,
Elishama, Eliadar, and Eliphalet. 9. These were all the sons of David, besides the sons of the concubines and Tamar, their sister. I lost track for a minute there.
Yeah,
So David was.
they had sons.
I know he studied the law, but after that, I can imagine what else kept him occupied. So those are, but I want you to see how many sons he actually had. So even in the absence of Absalom and Amnon, who both succumbed to each other, there's still many sons. And out of all those sons, look who, when the father is
Sick,
dying and sick,
dying,
look who's
try to
got eyes on his throne. That before he's even dead, what is he doing? Let's go back to 1 Kings, first chapter. Before he's even dead,
First Kings chapter 1.
yes,
Yeah, chapter 1. Verse 5. Then Adoniah, the son of Haggith, exalted himself, saying, I will be king. And he prepared him chariots and horsemen and 50 men to run before him. And his father had not displeased him at any time in saying, why hast thou done so? And he also was a very goodly man.
in other words, David had not chastised him, had not discouraged him, because he couldn't, because he was sick. So that's why he was in the midst of doing what he did. Yes.
And his mother bare him after Absalom. And he conferred with Joab, the son of Zeruiah, and with Abiathar, the priest. And they, following Adoniah, helped him. But Zadok, the priest, and Benaniah, the son of Jehoiada, and Nathan, the prophet, and Shimei, and Rei, and the mighty men which belonged to David,
yes,
were not with Adoniah.
They didn't. They said, no, get out of here. Your father, long your father lived, he's still number one. He's still king. As long as your daddy lived, that's who we with. And as long as he draw any breath, he's still king. So why are you out here in the streets of Jerusalem running around in a chariot and got some priests following you? Boy, you better tighten up. To us, this means war. And we about ready to take your head, just like we took Absalom's head. Hold your bridges. Back up. See, even if something is meant to come to you, that don't mean you go take it.
Hallelujah.
Let your season come.
Hallelujah.
He's too ambitious. And I see that a lot of times in a lot of young men.
Yes, sir.
Especially in today's society. If something is meant to come to you, it will come.
Yes, right.
And let it come. But a lot of times today, well, not even today, because we're seeing it right here. In that youth, let me put it like that. It's mine, and I'm going to get it. And you really don't know what to do with it when you get it. But his ambition is running wild with him. And in his mind, he don't see nobody being king but him. This whole premise that we're reading this, you'll say, well, why are we reading? Because I need you to see his mindset. Because this whole premise from chapter 1 is what's going to bleed on all the way through to when you get to chapter 2. It's not just something to start there. This is a great backdrop because it's showing us his mindset. Go ahead.
And Adonijah slew sheep and oxen and fat cattle by the stone of Zahelah, which is by Enrogel, and called all his brethren the king's sons, and all the men of Judah the king's servants. But Nathan the prophet, and Benaniah, and the mighty men, and Solomon his brother, he called not.
You can call him.
Wherefore Nathan spake unto Bathsheba, the mother of Solomon, saying, Hast thou not heard that Adonijah the son of Haggith doth reign, and David our master knoweth not?
See, that's another thing when you, what we call today, sibling robbery. You see? And I dare to say that it don't even just start with him. And we break this down. Again, nobody take this the wrong way. But guess who put the bug in his head? You be king. You gonna be king.
His mom.
The throne, huh?
His mom.
Huh?
His mom.
That's why it's letting you know who he come from. See, if they share the same mother,
Oh, Absalom mama.
then it's kind of, you know, but you have all these, and I'm saying that because people, and especially brothers, they always want to glamorize in the scriptures all the wives.
Yeah.
All the wives. But with all the wives came a lot of tension. With all the came a lot of sometimes confusion. Because now this mother, and what mother wouldn't? She love her boy, she love her son. My son should have the throne. This got a child by another woman over here. My child should get the kingdom. Got another child over here. Nah, he spent time with me. And he told me one night that the kingdom was going to be given to my son that I have by him. And he might have, but he's not the Almighty. Huh? You see? So yes, have all the women, but no one come along with it. Well, I would rather, Brother Aaron would rather have the problem of just having one wife with all the kids by them.
Right.
And so everybody, you know, we just looking now like one of them, but not none of this. What calling me up? Ain't gonna be my child to get the business. Hang over. Nah, you sick? Ain't you gonna leave it to this? Ain't even to none of y'all. How about that? Because that tension is here. That tension is here. So he perceives himself to be heir to the throne. And that's why now Nathan, who don't have a dog in the fight except that of the Almighty, and he's Yah's prophet, and Yah has spoken to him. Now Nathan comes into play and say, hey, all these wives is taking claim, all the sons of the wives is taking, or one son, let me get myself correct. One son is taking claim to your husband's throne. But that's not the will of Yah. So let's continue.
Verse 12. Now therefore come, let me, I pray thee, give thee counsel.
Let me counsel you.
That thou mayest save thy own life and the life of thy son Solomon. Go, get thee in unto King David, and say unto him, Didst not thou, my master, O king, swear unto thy handmaid, saying,
And what verse are you at?
I'm at verse 13.
All right.
Assuredly, Solomon, thy son, shall reign after me, and he shall sit up on my throne. Why then, though Adonijah reign? Behold, while thou yet talkest there with the king, I also will come in after thee and confirm thy words. And Bathsheba went in unto the king, into the chamber, and the king was very old. And Abishai, the Shunammite, ministered unto the king. And Bathsheba bowed and did obeisance unto the king.
She's nothing freaky. She just ministering to him, taking care of him.
And the king said, What wouldest thou?
Mm-hmm.
And she said unto him, My master, thou swearest by Yahweh thy Elohim unto thy handmaid, saying, Assuredly, Solomon thy son shall reign after me.
You did tell somebody. You did whisper in one of our ears to say my son was going to see, and that was me. That's what you said to me. She said, so why? Is there something else happening in the kingdom? Because you swore to me. Huh?
Yes,
ain't nothing like when a woman tug at them heartstrings.
Uh-huh.
Huh? Yeah.
That's right.
It's a movie me and my son watched. And the dude is a king. And it's a custom, but he's a king in his kingdom, but he really don't have power in his kingdom because another kingdom rules over him. And so they come with an emissary and they say, we want 1,000 of your children to go back with us. And they say, and the main one we want is your son. And he said, no, don't do this. Don't come to my kingdom. Don't do this. Do anything else. We pay you money. We give you anything, but don't do this. They say, no, we want the children. We don't want no money. We want the children. And the day it come for him to take his child and hand him over to him, he got him. He get ready to take him. And the wife, she get him.
Yeah, she won't like it.
She get him. All she had to do, you promise. Little tears, not even crying, little tears. She said, you promise, and hit him. He standing there with his son's hand. Like I said, Gary turned him over and he said, you look, go to your mama.
Yeah.
And he sent him back to his mama. And then he proceeded to make war. Because he go in and just kill the whole party that was coming to get the son. Because she got at them heartstrings. She tugged at them strings, Jack.
Sure did.
And she moved him. You get older, you're going to understand that. She moved him. And that's what happened here. Mother Bathsheba went in and she tugged at the heartstrings. And what happened?
And she said unto him, My master, thou swearest by Yahweh thy Elohim unto thy handmaid, saying, Assuredly Solomon thy son shall reign after me, and he shall sit upon my throne. Now, behold, Adonijah reign, and now my master the king, thou knowest it not?
But your other son is claiming that he's reigning and getting ready to take over, and you don't even know it. Right. And he have made a feast, yes?
And he have slain oxen and fat cattle and sheep in abundance, and have called all the sons of the king, and Abiathar the priest, and Joab the captain of the host. But Solomon thy servant have he not called.
He ain't called Solomon.
And thou, my master, O king, the eyes of all Israel are upon thee, that thou shouldest tell them who shall sit on the throne of my master, the king, after him. Otherwise, it shall come to pass, when my master the king shall sleep with his father, that I and my son Solomon shall be counted offenders.
See, and that's another thing, especially if you have people to inherit. Yes, leave them money. Yes, leave them an inheritance.
Leave a will.
But you better leave your wishes.
Mm-hmm.
Today, like my brother said, they call it a will and testament. You leave something that states what you desire, sign and witness and everything. You leave it, because when you don't leave it, there can be chaos. In history such as his, it almost was. It's avoided, but it almost was. Because up until this point, David has not spoken. That's what she means by all the eyes of Israel are upon you. They want to know what the king said. Because a man can rise up here and say, it's the kingdom is mine. Another one can rise up and say, the kingdom is mine. And another can rise up and say, the kingdom is mine. And now there's chaos. So all Israel want to know, what does the king say? Who does he put his stamp of approval on? And as to that point, he had not yet done so. And that's why she's there. And she says, he's already established himself. So now my son Solomon rises up and says, but Daddy said I'm to be king. Then guess what Solomon looked like? He looked like a liar. Because this young man have already made feasts, have priests, have proclaimed himself to be king. So now anybody after him, it just looked like they are grabbing at the throne, and they are doing it in error. So you must be decisive. You leave that vacuum open, and many people gonna try to fill it.
Yes, sir.
So you must and should be very decisive as to what happens at the end of your days.
Verse 22. And lo, while she yet talked with the king, Nathan the prophet also came in.
Mm-hmm.
And they told the king, saying, behold, Nathan the prophet. And when he was come in before the king, he bowed himself before the king with his face to the ground. And Nathan said, my master, O king, hast thou said, Adonai shall reign after me, and he shall sit upon my throne?
He come in with nothing. Hey man, what's happening? I see your son Adonai. He said he's reigning. They trying to let David throw him off a little bit. Huh? I don't know nothing about what she in here for, but I'm coming to tell you as well as a second witness. Adonai is proclaiming himself king. What's happening? Is that what you said?
For he is gone down this day and have slain oxen and fat cattle and sheep in abundance, and have called all the king's sons and the captains of the host and Abithar the priest, and behold, they eat and drink before him and saying, Elohim save the king Adonai.
Long live King Adonai. That's what they said.
But me, even me, thy servant, and Zadok the priest, and Benani, the son of Jehoiada, and thy servant Solomon, have he not called?
Have he not called?
Is this thing done by my master the king? And thou hast not showed it unto thy servant, who shall sit on the throne of my master the king after him? Then King David answered and said, call me Bathsheba. And she came into the king's presence.
Come my wife back in here.
And stood before the king.
Mm-hmm.
And the king swore and said, as Yahweh liveth, that have redeemed my soul out of all distress.
From Saul, from Absalom, from all distresses that I faced as he lived, that have saved me from all my distresses.
Even as I swear unto thee by Yahweh Elohim of Israel, saying, assuredly Solomon thy son shall reign after me, and he shall sit upon my throne in my stead. Even so will I certainly do this day.
Mm-hmm.
Then Bathsheba bowed with her face to the earth and did reverence to the king and said, let my master King David live forever. And King David said, call me Zadok the priest, and Nathan the prophet, and Benaniah the son of Jehoiada. And they came before the king. And the king also said unto them, take with you the servants of your master, and cause Solomon my son to ride upon my own mule.
Yeah, he went and grabbed some, but he didn't grab mine.
And bring him down to Gihon.
You go get Solomon, you put him on my personal. You put him on the mule I rode down in Jerusalem.
There ain't no question there.
Ain't no question there.
Documentation beat conversation.
You see what I'm saying? You put him on my mule. That's personal to me. Go ahead.
And let Zadok the priest and Nathan the prophet anoint him there, king over Israel, and blow ye with the trumpet, and say, Elohim save King Solomon. Then ye shall come up after him, that ye may come and sit upon my throne. For he shall be king in my stead, and I have anointed him to be ruler over all Israel and over Judah. And Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, answered the king and said, Amen. Yahweh Elohim of my master the king, say so too. As Yahweh hath been with my master the king, even so be he with Solomon, and make his throne greater than the throne of my master King David. So Zadok the priest, and Nathan the prophet, Benaniah the son of Jehoiada, and the Cherethites, and the Pelethites went down and caused Solomon to ride upon King David's mule, and brought him to Gihon. And Zadok the priest took a horn of oil out of the tabernacle and anointed Solomon. And they blew the trumpet, and all the people said, Elohim save King Solomon. And all the people came up after him, and the people piped with pipes and rejoiced with great joy, so that the earth rent with the sound of them. And Adoniah and all the guests that were with him heard it, as they had made an end of eating. And when Joab heard the sound of the trumpet, he said, wherefore is this noise of the city being in an uproar? And while he yet spake, behold, Jonathan, the son of Abiathar, the priest, came. And Adoniah said unto him, come in, for thou art a valiant man, and bringest good tidings. And Jonathan answered and said to Adoniah, verily, our Lord, verily our master King David have made Solomon king, and the king has sent with him Zadok the priest, and Nathan the prophet, and Benaniah the son of Jehoiada, and the Cherethites, and the Pelethites, and they have caused him to ride upon the king's mule. And Zadok the priest and Nathan the prophet had anointed him king in Gihon, and they are come up from thence rejoicing. so that the city rang again. This is the noise that ye have heard.
In other words, your daddy put an end to all this foolishness that you was doing. Because they up there and they got everything that belonged to your father. They got a mule. They got the prophet Nathan that spoke to him. They got the priest, the doc that ministered unto him. They got everything. Your daddy and all this clowning you out here doing. So the gig is up, chief. And that's what you hear going on in the city. They say Solomon, your brother, because he didn't proclaim himself to be king. He been announced by your father to be king. 46th verse. And Solomon sitteth on the throne of the kingdom.
And moreover, the king's servant came to bless our master King David, saying, Elohim make the name of Solomon better than thy name.
He make the name of Solomon even better than your name.
And make his throne greater than thy throne.
He make his throne greater than your throne.
And the king bowed himself upon the bed. And also thus said the king, Blessed be Yahweh, Elohim of Israel, which hath given one to sit on my throne this day. My eyes even seeing it.
And that's not Christ.
And all the guests that were with Adoniah were afraid.
Because not only Adoniah, people like to put Christ as the son of David that sit on the throne of David. Well, the one that David blessed sit on his throne and be great was who? Was Solomon. And he saw it happen. Yes. And all the guests that were with Adoniah were what?
Were afraid.
Oh.
And rose up.
And
went every man his way.
You know when somebody get caught on the carpet, how people start getting up and dismissing themselves. Yeah, that's what they start doing. They start leaving.
Real quick.
Peace.
And Adoniah feared.
Stuff with me. Peace. Right. And even he himself, what?
And Adoniah feared because of Solomon, and rose and went and caught hold on the horns of the altar.
Refuge. Sanctuary. Huh?
And it was told Solomon, saying, Behold, Adoniah feared King Solomon, for lo, he had caught hold on the horns of the altar, saying, Let King Solomon swear unto me today.
I ain't going nowhere.
That he will not slay his servant with the sword.
He on the horns of the altar, and I ain't going nowhere till my brother come and tell me he ain't gonna try to kill me for me trying to assert myself and be king. I ain't moving. I ain't turning these horns loose. Right. He said, until y'all get my brother in here and he swear by Yah that he won't have vengeance on me.
And Solomon said, if he will show himself a worthy man.
If he will do what?
Show himself.
You see what he's saying?
A worthy man.
If he stop all that foolishness that he been doing and show himself a worthy man, a trustworthy man. Remember we talked about that being a virtue when we really started the family of Yah? Trustworthy. If he stop all this clowning and all this foolishness that he been doing around here while daddy's sick, talking about he king and all this old madness, and show himself to be a trustworthy person.
There shall not a hair on him fall to the earth.
Nobody will touch him.
But if wickedness shall be found in him, he shall die.
But the moment I said indiscretion in this man, the moment that he give me a hint that he up to something, did he break his promise? No. The promises are he got conditions. Ain't gonna touch him. If that's the deal. Tell him he can come. That's the deal, though. He better not cut up.
So King Solomon sent And they brought him down from the altar.
Mm-hmm.
And he came and bowed himself to King Solomon.
Yes.
And Solomon said unto him, Go to thy house.
Now let's go back to chapter 2. Let's get there. We won't start at 1. Let's pick up chapter 2. And let's go to verse 13.
Hallelujah.
Because I want you, now that we've seen that if he showed himself to be what?
Trustworthy.
Worthy.
A worthy
Meaning
man.
trustworthy. That Solomon promised him not a what?
A hair of his head will touch the earth.
But if he found any what?
Any
Wickedness in him,
any.
then that deal is what?
Done.
Now, with this new knowledge, this complete knowledge, read verse 13.
And Adoniah, the son of Haggith, came to Bathsheba,
Yes.
the mother of Solomon, and she said, Comest thou peaceably?
Now, stop. Because here's the very first thing. Gabe and David and Nassim, they're brothers. Huh?
Yeah.
They're brothers. Y'all brothers? Well, you ain't say that. Shake your head confidently. Are y'all brothers? When your brother wants something, does he have to come to me to ask for it, or does he come to you? He don't come to me. He come to you.
Right.
Or maybe I should ask David. He comes when he wants something. He comes to you.
Yep.
I'm saying that because many people won't see, because you're talking about the wisdom of Solomon, they won't see what's at work here. If he only up and up about things, why, number one, and keep in mind also Bathsheba is not his biological mother, why is he going to Bathsheba to ask Bathsheba to go to Solomon and ask Solomon to give him something when he could have rightfully went to his brother himself and asked his brother and said, hey, well, you know, Abishag took care of our father. Do you think that she could become my wife? Why is he going, unbeknownst to Solomon, why is he going to his mother to have her come to him and ask for Abishag? And that's why Solomon said, how you doing, Ma? She said, I'm fine, baby. And we're going to keep reading. He said, well, what's up? Well, I'm here to ask and petition on the hands of Adoniah. See, is what we're saying. Wisdom. First thing Solomon does is he sit on the throne. He said, wait a minute. What's going on? He's trying to use my mama to get something because he know I won't turn my mama down because I love my mama, and anything she come in and ask me, I'm going to give it to her because I love her. But why is he doing that? See, sometimes you got to question people's motives.
Yes, sir.
Even when it don't look like there's something there sometimes. There's something there that's dubious. Huh? And you have to question why. Because it's a simple conversation between him and Solomon if it's only up and up. But keep reading. It's not only up and up. And again, a wise man, as Solomon is, he can see that it ain't only up and up. Go ahead.
And Adoniah, the son of Haggith, came to Bathsheba, the mother of Solomon. And she said, comest thou peacefully? And he said, peacefully. And said, moreover, I have somewhat to say unto thee.
And that's why she's even at, you come in peace?
And she said,
the last time I talked to you, or last time I knew about you, you was cutting up. You come to peace? Huh? Or you come because you upset that my son sit on the throne? He said, no, I'm coming peace. Go ahead.
And excuse me. He said, moreover, I have somewhat to say unto thee. And she said, say on. And he said, thou knowest that the kingdom was mine.
Now look how he started even talking to her.
There you go.
I got something to say to you.
Yeah.
You know the kingdom was mine.
And that all Israel set their face on me.
I was partying, we was eating. They said, long live Adonijah. And they were ready to follow me. They said, long live King Adonijah. You know the kingdom. It was mine.
That I should reign.
That I should be sitting on that throne.
Howbeit the kingdom is turned about and has become my brother's. For it was his from Yahweh.
Did you see Black Panther?
Uh-huh.
When he finally get back to Wakanda, you see how he came in there? Huh? How he came? He didn't come in there on fire. He just came in there. Hey, I don't believe he should be sitting on the throne. And he was throwing a lot of things out. And they said, who are you to make claim? And he said, I am. He said, this should be me. He was being nefarious.
Yeah.
He was putting an evil plot into work.
Right.
Whether he was a son of the king or not, he was putting an evil plot into work. And the same thing is happening here. And that's why he brought that up. He don't want to just have the young woman that tended to his father for nothing. He's still smarting that he is not sitting on his father's throne.
Right. Yeah.
Now Bathsheba can't see what he's doing. But when she gets to Solomon, because we men. And that's another thing.
That's the first thing I thought.
Yeah, sometimes it's just like that's the way of life. See, sometimes game recognize game. And a woman can't see the thoughts and the deceit and the deception of men because she ain't a man.
Right.
But a brother sitting there like, watch this. That fool we running. Yeah. Watch. She gonna go. She go. There she go. And they sing a mile, 1,000 miles. But it's the same way. Sometimes women able to sit back and be like, she is really tricking him. Look at him. He just smiling. And she can take it for every last dime he got. And they just sitting back. But brother sitting there, you do. He just, because they can't, the wisdom ain't there. You see? So right now, she might not even know what's happening. Continue.
And said, thou knowest that,
Verse 15.
Verse 15, 16. And now I ask one petition of thee.
No, verse 15.
15, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, thou knowest that the kingdom was mine.
You know the kingdom was mine?
And that all Israel set their face on me, that I should reign. Howbeit the kingdom is turned about, and has become my brother's. For it was his from Yahweh.
But then he acknowledged, well, that's why it's his, because it was his because of Yah.
And now I ask one petition of thee.
Mm-hmm.
Deny me not. And she said unto him, say on. And he said, speak, I pray thee, unto Solomon the king. For he will not say thee nay, that he give me Abishai, the Shunammite, to wife. And Bathsheba said, well, I will speak for thee unto the king. And Bathsheba therefore went unto King Solomon to speak unto him for Adonijah. And the king rose up to meet her, and bowed himself unto her, and sat down on his throne, and caused a seat to be set for the king's mother.
Yeah, because as a king, that's what you do, especially when you don't have a wife. The queen mother is your mother.
Yeah.
And sometimes as a king, when you did have a wife, there's still the queen mother. So mom get the seat.
And she sat on his right hand.
Now, mom shouldn't interfere with you and your wife, but mom still get the seat. Because mom queen mother.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
That's
I'm mama baby.
Yep.
Mom still occupy that high seat.
Yeah.
You my lady. I'm gonna be there for you. But mom occupy that high seat as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he put a seat right there.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Then she said, I desire one small petition of thee.
Mm-hmm.
I pray thee, say me not nay. And the king said unto her, ask on, my mother. For I will not say nay. I will not say thee nay. And she said, let Abishai the Shunammite be given to Adoniah, thy brother, to wife.
Give your brother the young lady, the young virgin that took care of your father. Give her to your brother.
How you know I don't want?
Now watch what King Solomon said.
And King Solomon answered and said unto his mother, and why doest thou ask Abishai the Shunammite for Adoniah?
Why are you here? We're picking it back up again. Why are you here asking for the Shunammite that took care of daddy to be given to him?
Ask for him the kingdom also?
See, Solomon's wisdom, he knew something was up. Even though this is not, and I think I have to correct myself, David's wife, she's still someone that was close. So Adoniah, if he able to attain her, remember what we said when they showed that Solomon was directly favored by David. What did they do? They gave him who mule? David's personal mule.
Right.
And that's what I was trying to drive home earlier.
Right.
When you get things personally from somebody, it's like I have sons. If y'all can think about operating, but I leave my signet with you and not my sons. Well, somebody and they see you, somebody gonna say, brother, how you get Brother Aaron's ring? You didn't steal it. You didn't find it. Only way you could have got it is that he what? Personally, or he gave it to you. That meant he personalized. It was personal. And this here, if he is able to acquire her, although not being the one, she is something that was with David. So if he's able to acquire, that's something that he can say, hey, I got the young woman that took care of my father. Why? How could I get her if daddy didn't want me to ascend? If daddy didn't talk to me like they saying he talked to Solomon. Because otherwise, how could I get this woman? He'll turn and spin the whole thing. Now, people that don't understand, they can't see this. But with understanding and wisdom, I see it as Solomon sees and know exactly what's going on. It's still a play at the kingdom by Adoniah. He didn't leave that foolishness alone.
That was even worse.
And he went through, yes.
Right.
This is still a great plot.
Yeah.
Continue.
And King Solomon answered and said unto his mother, why doest thou ask Abishai the Shunammite for Adoniah? As for him, the kingdom also, for he is my elder brother, even for him, and for Abithar the priest, and for Joab the son of Zeruiah. Then King Solomon swore by Yahweh, saying, Elohim do so to me, and more also, if Adoniah had not spoken this word against his own life.
If he haven't went back, remember my agreement.
Yeah.
Remember my agreement. But he's not living up to his end of the bargain. He's still trying to be slick.
On this foolishness.
And a lot of people in the world today try to be slick.
Yes, sir.
And they think people are not hip.
That's
They
right.
try to be slick and
That's
think
right.
people are not hip.
Yup.
And you're not fooling nobody in the long run,
Right.
but yourself.
With yourself.
And it is going to catch up with you.
Better know it. Hallelujah. That's facts.
Now therefore, as Yahweh liveth, which have established me and set me on the throne of David, my
The
father.
days of slick and hip and cool and getting over, them days have come and they are gone. Because people ain't even playing with you in the world no more.
Nah, they ain't playing.
Even when you're innocent, they ain't playing with you.
They ain't playing.
So especially when you're out here trying to be hip and cool and slick and getting over, you run around across the wrong person and you gone.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Because there's always somebody hipper than you, slicker than you,
Slicker than you. Yes,
Meaner.
meaner than you,
better know.
trying to get over
Yeah.
better than you do.
Yeah. That's facts.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
And like I said, life is complicated enough even when you're not trying to be that way.
That's right.
Right.
People were very outraged and rightfully so, and made a full justice of the Almighty Yah come down upon his head. Because I can't ask for the full justice of man, because he's not going to get it.
Sure.
At the young man last week that snuffed out the life of all those elders in the supermarket
Yeah,
shooting.
That was terrible.
And people were very upset. All people were very upset.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I ask the Almighty that his full justice come down.
Right.
But I hope that we just as upset. And see, this is when they start talking, but we ain't gonna talk about that. We just gonna talk about what they doing to, but I hope we can get just as upset
Yes, sir.
for an incident that happened that Monday after that
Mm-hmm.
Sabbath, where a 51-year-old man that was doing security just to pick up some extra money exited his SUV, and upon exiting his SUV, a young man walked up in behind him and blows his brains out. Not only does he do that, he goes through his pockets and you can see him taking some personal belongings. I hope we are just as upset, because we should be, because that's not even, and that's bad, that's terrible.
That's terrible.
But to show you how bad off we are, there's 3 bystanders that come along afterwards as the man is laying on the ground in his blood, having been executed, and they proceed to take some of his personal belongings. And the whole while, nobody has called the cops. Nobody has done CPR. Nobody has even tried to give help. There's a person that's sitting on the curb as he's executed. And he simply gets up with his bottle that he has, that he's been sipping off of, and walks away shaking his head.
Sheesh.
All done not under the cover of darkness,
In the light.
but in the broad daylight,
In the light. Sheesh.
right off of a district that's right off of 75 as it cuts through Atlanta.
Mhm.
See, I'm outraged at both of them, just as the Almighty will be, because both of them are murder.
Yes, sir.
But the Almighty warned his people because they won't listen to him. And he told his people, he said, you will be plagued with the sword without. In Deuteronomy, the 32nd chapter, the 25th verse, part of the plagues that the Almighty put on his people, part of the curse that he put on his people, which people argue and say they're not under a curse, that Christ saved them from the curse. Well, did he save us from this? Because we live it every day. And we live that we are under assault from without. He said the sword without. That meant you have outside enemies. Like 3 young women went on dates with men outside of their race. And all 3 of them to this day were murdered. Were murdered. Not missing, they were murdered. And one young man went out on a date outside and found in the young girl's apartment stabbed over 18 times.
Sheesh.
So don't grin and smile and think everything is okay. There's still the enemies without. That's why this young man plotted for months, made several trips into that Buffalo neighborhood for months, doing reconnaissance, planning this devious, diabolical, heinous crime that he executed. Planned it for months. Not in secret, on the internet at that. I can guarantee you, Brother Aaron started typing some stuff in and on my doorstep tomorrow. Right now they probably watch and they flag everything. Hit that. Hit that. Hit that. And let me even give them a sense that I'm getting ready to go off, and they ready. And this young man for months have been talking about these things and fulfilling these things. Then started buying gear. The gear that he wore, the full body armor and the helmet and the gun and the magazines. And with everything that you have at your disposal, that you can eavesdrop thousands of miles away. Like somebody made the good point, you could eavesdrop thousands of miles away and tell me what terrorists in a cave is getting ready to do. And go and stop them. But you couldn't eavesdrop on somebody right here in your foreign, on your soil, on your soil, and know what they talking about doing and not stop.
That's crazy.
And see, when our people, they took threats seriously. We always known this. Huh? My brother talking about when we grew up. Watch this. Let me show you how serious we took it. Going in my trunk. See, they start laughing. That's a nervous laugh, though. That ain't no ha-ha laugh like Eddie Murphy. Because we knew when they say going to the trunk, that you was that part. Game over. We out of here.
Yes, sir.
I never heard a man say go to the trunk, and I stood. No, we need to get a couple more shots. That ball be bouncing by itself, Jack. I'm the first one, and if ain't nobody else leaving, I'm leaving. I'm getting out of there.
Right.
So that's all I need to hear.
Ain't lying.
He said he thought I was a punk.
We didn't take it seriously. It wasn't a viable lead. That's why we didn't act on it.
Right.
And this man was saying what he was going to do
Saying what he was doing.
over and over and over ad nauseum.
Yeah.
And have priors.
Priors. That's insane.
If you're about truly protecting, at some point you have to do something.
Yeah. You're right.
You have to do something. So let me get back to Adoniah though. The nefarious plot, Solomon had upended it, and he could see that it was in the works. So he wasn't thrilled that this young man was doing this. Let's pick it up at 24 because we will be breaking.
Now, therefore,
But after the break, we're going to go back and we're going to discuss the way of Yah.
hallelujah.
And we're going to stay with the virgin birth,
All right,
the Christ birth.
all right,
Because as the scriptures say, there's a way that seemeth right unto men,
all right. Yes, sir.
but the ways thereof are the ways of death.
Hallelujah.
And people, and you're going to find, what we're going to find is the New Testament and the way that they say Yah work is different from the Holy Scriptures and the way they all might really work. So we're going to discuss that. All right?
Hallelujah.
We'll continue.
1 Kings chapter 2, verse 24. Now therefore, as Yahweh liveth, which have established me, and set me on the throne of David my father, and who have made me a house, and as he promised, Adoniah shall be put to death this day.
He had made me a house as he promised my father, that Adoniah shall be put to death this day. And notice that the son, Solomon, and the father, when he was alive, both of them swore not by Trinity, not by the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, not by the living Christ, but both of these men swore directly and only by who? By Yah. Because that's all they knew. Because that's all there is. This is just truth. This is biblical truth. There is no Christ with the Father, or before the Father, or after the Father. There is only Yah, and every last man of truth in these holy scriptures, not the New Testament, in these holy scriptures, every last man from Abraham to Moses to David to Solomon and all in between, Daniel, even the angels themselves, they all only gonna swear by the Most High Yah.
Hallelujah. Yeah.
That should say something to us.
Yes, sir.
In the prophet Daniel, like he said, the angel lifted up his right hand. He lifted up his left hand. And it says, and he swore by him who liveth forever. And his name is Yah. Again, that should say something to us. Why can't we? As much as we may have grew up on it, as much as we got used to it, as much as we thought it was right, once we find out that that is not the case, then why can't we only swear by Yah?
Hallelujah.
Because by the prophet Isaiah, Yah said one day, that's what you will do. He said, for every knee shall bow to him,
Yes, sir.
and every tongue shall swear by his name.
Hallelujah.
This is biblical fact
Mm-hmm.
that can't be denied.
Can't be denied.
Continue. Verse 25.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
And King Solomon sent by the hand of Benaniah.
All the talking chit-chatted.
And King Solomon sent by the hand of Benaniah, the son of Jehoiada, and he fell upon him that he died. And unto Abiathar, the priest, said the king, Get thee to Anathoth, unto thy own fields, for thou art worthy of death.
I shall put you to death.
But I will not at this time put thee to death, because thou bearest the ark of Yahweh thy Elohim
And the only thing
before David my father.
the only thing saving you is because you bore the ark before my father David.
Right, right.
And because thou hast been afflicted in all wherein my father was afflicted.
And you went through all the problems that my father went through. You went through those problems with him. You was there by his side. So therefore will I show you some mercy.
So Solomon thrust out Abiathar from being priest unto Yahweh.
But you can't be priest. Now watch this. Now this fulfills the word of Yah that he swore back so many years ago to Eli when he told Eli what?
No man in your house will be.
That no man can be a priest from your house. And that's exactly what it says. So Solomon thrust out Abiathar from being priest,
that he might fulfill the word of Yahweh, which he spoke concerning the house of Eli in Shiloh.
hallelujah.
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 Then Titus,
That's good. So that's why. Because he understood his brother. And he knew his brother was up to no good. And he was still in a mode at some point of trying to swindle the kingdom away from him. And mind you, he had already told him. He said, I will not hurt you if you prove yourself to be worthy. But if you prove not yourself to be worthy, then all bets is off. Now, to close it out, the wisdom of Solomon, where did it come from? Like I said, number one, it came from his father.
hallelujah,
Hallelujah.
Because that's what a father should do. He should lead his seed with wisdom. We hear the term generational wealth. Well, there's many ways of leaving generational wealth. Like I said, there's money, there's trinkets, there's homes, but the greatest wealth that you can leave your children with is knowledge, wisdom, and understanding.
hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
The knowledge that if you don't leave them with a home, they can go and get a home. We planted a garden. I don't drag them in the garden to make them or to think that they even have to be in the garden. That's not what I do, and that's not why I take them out there. I take them out there so that they can see, so that they can get knowledge. That maybe one day, if they find themselves in a condition where they have to feed themselves, then they can go back and say, I remember when I was out there with Pops, and he grabbed some dirt, and what did he turn over, or what did he it's coming back to me now, and now they can do it because that's knowledge, that's wisdom, that's understanding.
Hallelujah.
And that's what I give them. I don't have much else. You see? Because even when I go the way of all flesh, like I told Nassim, I'll leave you a little something. But you ain't gonna hit the lotto when I leave there. Don't get it twisted. Don't get your eye big. You get a little, you get like a seed, you get a little starter packet.
Right.
That's what you get. But the best thing I can give them again is knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And the truth.
Yes, sir.
And the truth.
The truth.
That's why they know things about me. And I don't hide them from them.
Right.
Because they need to know the truth.
Nobody come behind me and say nothing otherwise.
No, that's right. Sheesh.
Even if it's negative or if it's good, they need to know the truth.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Yes, sir.
This was negative. It's the truth. This was negative. Did you see what it did to me and for me and against me? So, son, this is the truth. This is what you don't do.
Right.
Okay. That's what you leave. So some of his wisdom, the foundation for his wisdom, came from his father David. Just like he didn't come up with the idea to build the temple. He just picked up where his father David left off. But when you read about cubits, all of the measurements that it's talking about, that's from the fingertip of David to the elbow of David. Everything that's laid out, David already had it modeled and laid out. All Solomon did is came along and got all the resources and said, this is my father's vision. Now we about to execute it. But he changed not one thing. The numbers was already there. The material was already there. The alliances with kings was already there. And it was based upon his father. Now, what he did with what he received is he also used it and improved upon it. It's no more than my predecessor. I don't teach anything against my predecessor because my knowledge, my way of going in scriptures, that's where it comes from.
Hallelujah.
But it's nothing that says I can't see some things or magnify some things, because that's what he even had hopes that those that sat under him would do. But the funny thing about knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, I have to be honest with you as well, tell you the truth. They have a price.
Yes, sir.
Turn to Ecclesiastes, and then we're going to break. First chapter of Ecclesiastes. Everything is a continuum. My knowledge, my wisdom, my
Ecclesiastes
a lot of
chapter 1.
it comes from my father and my mother. I'm able to get in that garden because that comes from my mother. On the childhood years, man, what am I doing out here with a pickaxe and a shovel and a rake and a spade? Out here battling all these thorns and thistles, tearing up my hands and slapping my little legs and doing all this hard work, can't even go play. But now, at the age I am, I'm so glad she took me out there. Huh? Huh?
Hallelujah.
I'm so glad. Especially in the day and age and time we in. Huh? When they talking about another great recession, not just a recession, they talking about another great recession.
Yes, sir.
The economists are.
Yeah.
See, this ain't church. There's nobody commanded to go to church. We come to hear the word of the Almighty, and the word of the Almighty give life. They talking about another great recession. They talking about in the summer, midsummer, gasoline $6 a gallon.
Yeah.
In this city. So that's not traveling abroad, because when you travel abroad, it's always higher.
Right.
$6 a gallon, possibly in this city,
Yes, sir.
a slow, progressive city, and $6. I don't know about you or anybody else in here,
Lord.
but I need to invest in a swing. If you don't know what a swing is, ask some of us that's a little older. A huffy. Huh? You'll be happy like you were when you used to get one for a gift, when you was a child. Yes. It's a bicycle, son. Yes.
Yes, it is.
Huh? 2 wheels. $6 a gallon. And that's just cars. See, we teaching perspective. We're not teaching nothing that's even, we're trying to give people perspective, because it's all going to go with the Almighty word. And that's $6 in the regular car. Not to mention what's going to happen with diesel fuel.
Right.
which is going to impact transportation,
Yeah. Food.
which is going to impact
Bus
food
fare.
getting to you.
Food gonna be high. Skyrocket.
Look at what they're doing. They've already had to execute emergency orders because there was a shortage in baby formula.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Facts.
Found out why
Facts.
the parents was eating baby
And
formula.
they said $800. $800 baby formula.
That's fact.
And folks are still having babies.
Yeah. Better know it. Still have a baby.
Huh?
Right now, as a matter of fact.
What I'm saying, long short, is the world. If COVID didn't even show you, I don't care where it came from or what's it called. What I'm showing you, because the scriptures have shown it to them that regard and fear Yah, is the world is going to keep on becoming a scarier place.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. That's fact.
It's going to get scarier and scarier and scarier.
Yes, sir.
As the scriptures say, it's going to fall deeper and deeper into darkness, and upon the inhabitants of gross darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Fenced-in walls, I'm telling you.
The book of Daniel says, and the wickedly shall continue to do wickedly. That means they're going to even amp it up.
Mm-hmm.
You think murder and mayhem is running through our streets now. Just think as the bottom continues to fall out and the moral code is gone. I not only did that, I scrolled through my Facebook and some of the feeds, and I got y'all. Y'all gonna take your break. It's raining outside anyway, so you ain't going too far. But there was a feed on there called Hood Fights or Hood Flights or something.
Hood fights.
And I scrolled through it. And I guess it's a young man, he travels. But he went to Alabama.
Go to every hood.
He went to Tampa.
Every state.
He went to Mississippi. He went to Georgia. He went to Pennsylvania. And I almost was crying by the time I got done watching all these various videos where he had went in these communities of hoods
Right.
and saw the condition. And when I say condition, I ain't talking about building. I'm talking about condition, the spirit and the mind of the people.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
As the young folks say, you might not say it no more, but it was grimy.
Yeah, it was.
They got bandanas on like outlaws, throwing up signs. You better know how to come in here, because you come in here, we about it, and you ain't gonna, just outright, their intention
Yes.
is just outright evil intention. We lay down.
Yeah. Yeah. Their own people. That's crazy.
We on our grind.
Mm-hmm.
I got this marked on me.
Robbing and killing.
I'm got this marked. This tell where I'm at and who I'm from.
Right.
Then I got this marked on me. Then I got, you see this right here? This that work I put in.
Yeah. How many people killed? Yeah.
The mind, the spirit. That's why I said earlier, all this hip, cool, and all this, it's later for that. It's hard enough navigating this world trying to do it the right way,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
let alone to get out here and get involved in some foolishness.
Mm-hmm.
For Solomon says, and we can't keep saying it's what the white man gave us.
All right.
Sure can.
This is what some of my brothers don't like, Brother Aaron. But the scriptures and the picture that the Almighty gave his people is that you fell into peril because you were so wicked and vile and forsook my way. And you still forsaking my way. See, this ain't about choosing religion. Well, you do that because that's what you do. It's not about choosing religion. This is about choosing what's right and what's wrong. From the holy creator, from the one that is righteous. Let me read this because they chomping at the bit to get their little break in. Let me read this. The words of the preacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem. Vanity of vanities, says the preacher. Vanity of vanities. All is vanity. We're chasing things that's vanity. Again, I'm not discouraging nobody to go after nice things. I like nice things, but it can't be at the price of what's right and what's good and what's moral and what's holy. And for some of us that fear Yah, it won't be at that price. Even if it means we have to struggle a little bit, it won't be at that price. I tell the story that when I was expecting my oldest, just got married, had no job, and the streets was out there readily available. Wasn't that I was a wise kid or a street kid, but I still knew people, and I could have got out in the streets and hustled up some money. Well, I did get out in the streets and hustle up some money, but I got out in the streets and hustled up some money with elders. I went and tutored for a couple hours a week and would get some bread. I went and did odd jobs and would get some bread. That's why when I read, it means something to me now. When I read in the book of Psalms, I have been young and now I am old. And I have never seen the righteous forsaken. That means something to me now because I have lived part of that. I have never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. He is ever merciful and he lendeth. Because when I thought about the streets, I said, why am I going to wreck somebody else's home?
All right.
Take their father from them. Take their mother from them. Take their brother from them. String their sister out. Why am I going to go out and do that so that I can raise up? That's not righteous. The little that a righteous man have and be happy, then great riches and be miserable. Have to walk down the street constantly. Have to get out of my car because it gets real. Vanity. And it comes and it goes. It comes and goes. You can have it, you can lose it. What profit have a man of all his labor which he have taken under the sun? One generation passes away, another generation comes. But the earth, it abides forever. The sun also rises and the sun goes down. Hasten to his place where he arose. The wind goes toward the south. It turneth about unto the north. It whirleth about continually. And the wind returned again according to his circuits. So in other words, it's painting a picture that in life, all things are continual.
Hallelujah.
And my brother said a little forcefully, but it was true nevertheless. That child, that's my child. It's her child as well, but that's my child.
Yes, sir.
Because he came from me.
Yes, sir.
He is a part of me. He is a continuum of me. He is the continuation of me. So is she. That daughter of mine.
Yes, sir.
She's a continuation of me.
Yes,
That's
sir.
why when I do or will give her away to get married, I need to know she's marrying somebody that's going to do the same thing, continuing the same thing
That's
that
right.
she was raised in when she was with me. If you're not going to do that, don't come to me for her hand.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
That's right.
Hallelujah.
Because I need to know she's going to continue in the same way of life, or if you're going to make it better.
Right.
Not that she going to regress.
All right. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
And I raise my boys with that understanding. You're going to receive a young woman, then you need to make her be able to continue. If she don't know no good, show her what's good.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
That's right.
And if she can't accept it, then that's not the one for you.
That's
Better
right.
know it. Better know it. Better know it. Yes, sir.
But everything is a continuum. All rivers run into the sea. Yet the sea is not full. Unto the place from whence the rivers come, there they return again. All things are full of labor, and man cannot utter it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. And when I say again, and find the mate, the essential things. Because if you just find the mate because she look fine, you gonna be finding, you gonna be in and out of love, like they say. In and out of love. They say, no, I get to find this woman. Yes, and another fine woman gonna pop up. And when she pop up, you'll be breaking your neck. Ooh.
Right. Right into the core.
Because the eyes, they're not satisfied.
No.
They're not satisfied.
Sir.
That's too big for their belly.
I got a house. Yeah, I got a house. I don't want a new house. Huh? 3 bedroom. I need a 5, 6 bedroom. For what?
Right.
And you the only one that live there. You don't get out of here.
That's right.
And there's some people that right now in these conditions, they don't even have one wall
Right.
to save them from these conditions. Huh? The eyes are not satisfied with seeing, the ear is not filled with hearing. The things that have been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done, it shall be done again. And that's why I say I never have to go to a museum to validate Israel. I look at Israel and see Israel every single day.
Yes, sir.
Deal with Israel every single day. If you study these scriptures, you'll know if the black man in America is part of the house of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And in England and across the world.
Yes, sir.
Because you'll see the same people that's on these pages. You'll see them jump off.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing new under the sun. The thing that have been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done. There is no new thing under the sun. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, it is new? No, it have already been of old times. It was that which was before us. There is no remembrance of former things. Neither should there be any remembrance of those things that will come with those that shall come after us. I, the preacher, was king over Israel in Jerusalem. Here it is, brother. And I gave my heart to seek and search out by wisdom concerning all things that are done under the sun.
Mm.
So he made it an educational tool. He always was looking to educate himself. As I said with the brother today, there's a difference between indoctrination and education.
Mm-hmm.
When you're indoctrinated, that's to teach you what to think. When you're educated, it's to teach you how to think.
Yes, sir.
Don't confuse the two.
Mm-hmm.
This young man always had a mind open to be educated. When I'm in my garden, my mind is open to always see and be educated. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Wow, look at that. I was in my garden the other day and sitting right in the midst of it, the way I was constructed, sitting right in the midst of it. Guess who was there?
Rabbit. The snake. The garden snake.
The serpent. A serpent. I said, yeah, you was in the Garden of Eden. Why wouldn't you be in the Garden of Aaron?
Right. That was good.
I said, but this hole coming too, just like there was a cherubim, a flaming sword, this hole coming too.
Yeah.
And he could sense it because he read up and then he just crawled on under the air. I said, yeah, you got to wait day. You better not come back out here tomorrow, though. I'm gonna get you. Huh? But this is already understood because it's scripture. That's why I'm playing God. What are you doing in there? He ain't got no business. This ain't got no business.
Yes, it is.
He was in the Garden of Eden.
Facts.
Nothing new under the sun.
Nothing.
I gave my heart to seek and search out my wisdom concerning all things that are done under heaven. This sore travail have Elohim given to the sons of men, a man to be exercised therewith. It pays a price. It pays a price. I have seen all the works that are done under heaven, under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and vexation of spirit. For that which is crooked cannot be made straight, and that which is wanting cannot be numbered. So I commune with my own heart. And it's always important for everybody to commune with your own heart. You're always so busy trying to figure out what's wrong with somebody else that we take very little time to figure out what's wrong with us.
Oh, yeah, that's facts.
And us, you, me, we're the most important thing to ourselves.
That's right.
I commune with my own heart, saying, lo, I am come to greater state, and I have gotten more wisdom than all they that have been before me in Jerusalem. Yea, my heart had great experience of wisdom and knowledge. And I gave my heart to know wisdom and to know madness and folly. And I perceived this also is vexation of spirit. And that's why I said what I said, that the heart also, it represents the seat or the center of a man. It doesn't just always denote the organ. It represents the seat also of a man, like the heart of an artichoke. The heart of it, you're talking about the center of something, because this is what he gave. He didn't give his organ. This is what he gave. He gave himself, his thought process. He gave himself to know wisdom and knowledge. And he said this was vexation of spirit. Man, why you act a fool like that? We ponder over things. Why they do that? Then sometimes you just gotta shake it off like, it'll drive you crazy trying to figure out the whys.
Yeah, sure will. Sheesh.
For in much wisdom is much grief.
Much grief.
See, sometimes you might not want to know what you think you want to know.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Let them know.
So true. So true.
I'm just telling you, son.
Yeah, being real.
Oh, I wish they didn't tell. I wish I didn't hear that. Oh my goodness.
Right.
So once you know, you can't give it back.
Sure can. It's there.
I've sat in sessions with people and they told me things. And I'd be like, and think about it, they able to get everything off their chest, but when I leave out the building, I don't have nobody I can go get off chest to, because I done sworn not to tell what they told me. So I carry it out of here and I carry all that around, and I have to detox in the way I detox, and that's with the Creator. But I'm sitting there be like, wow, I really didn't need to know that.
Yeah. I get it.
That's the grand mile.
For much wisdom is much grief, and he that increases in knowledge also increases in sorrow sometimes. The more you know, the more you're going to grow, but the more there is of sorrow.
Yes, sir. Amen.
To know what I know sometimes and try to have a conversation with people and they don't want to even have a conversation. Not talking about argument, that's sorrow.
Right.
Yes,
That's
sir.
vexation of my spirit.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is.
Especially when I know what I'm telling you is the truth and you
Yes,
don't
sir.
even want to entertain the conversation.
Tell that.
That's vexation of spirit.
Oh, God.
That's sorrow.
Yes.
Yeah. Sure is.
Say the truth, brother.
So with much knowledge come much sorrow.
Yes, sir.
We ain't talking about arguments. We talking about conversations. So his wisdom is found from his inherited from his father, taught to him by his father, and then enhanced to him by the Almighty, and then he pursued knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. I'll leave you with this, and that's in all forms. There's an elder, she's 80 years old, she's still paying off student loans.
Dang.
With much knowledge
Sheesh.
come much sorrow.
Good.
A price, and everything has it. All right, y'all get ready to get y'all little break. I know y'all screaming, he late. And see, he ain't going too far though. It's storming, and definitely don't go too far. Lightning is striking from the sky to the ground. I'm standing here and I'm able to see it.
Yes, sir.
It's touching to the ground. So if you step outside, be mindful. Be mindful. Any comments from anyone? And I know I said that was the last thing, but I have to interject this because I didn't get a chance to take it and interject it. That the seed, the kingship, it must pass a particular way. That's why Nathan told Bathsheba, go in there and tell David that Adonijah is trying to be king. But that is not what the Almighty told me. And that is not what he promised to you. And that is not what was to go on. Solomon was to be king. I say that because after Solomon, when Solomon had his child, and he would father many children. But don't think that the Almighty didn't leave him who was supposed to succeed him. And that's how it became Rehoboam. And when Rehoboam would have his child, do you see where I'm getting at? The pattern. It was of the Almighty who the succession must be. And that's why when I talk to my brothers, because that's the biblical truth, that's a baseline. And so that's why when I talk to my brothers in accordance with King Solomon, that I don't care. Even if he did, even if one want to believe he had an affair or he slept with the Queen of Sheba. Menelik the first has nothing to do with the kingship of Israel.
Hallelujah.
Therefore, coming all the way down to Emperor Haile Selassie the first, he could have nothing to do with the kingship of Israel, because that lineage had to go down a Pacific line, and it did go down that Pacific line, and remain so even to this day.
Of those men.
And he's not in that line. He was just been another son of Solomon.
Right.
But he would not have received anything as far as the kingship and rulership and the rights to the throne of Israel.
That's why I was in Ethiopia.
And they claim that it's his
Not his
mother that is of Israel, not his father.
Yes, sir, brother.
So I just wanted to clarify. I heard this question. So basically, the reason why the killing or the what he was asking about, that why was he saying that he needed to be killed or was going to be killed, was because the actual possession of the wives he had, including the one that he didn't sleep with, which was right, that because of the line and because of what was given to Solomon from his father, that whole line, everything that belonged to his father was given to him. It was not right for his brother to try to
claim anything that
claim
was personal.
anything when he knew that his oldest brother, who was Solomon, had first rights.
It was
So because of that, that's why he had to be killed, because he was not in agreement with what was promised or what was said by his older brother, by leaving things alone and understanding that you know just as well as I know the line, and that being slick about it and going about a different way because you want to marry her, marrying her would automatically go against our traditions on how we conduct, the way that things are transferred from our father. So that's basically why he had to be killed, because he chose to go against the traditional ways that was given, and by Yahweh letting the order be the way it was for Solomon to be king and to have all rights of his father. By him doing that, it would have brought confusion. That's why the Most High. I mean, that's why they had Solomon to ride on his father's mule to just squash all of the confusion from what had already happened before.
The long and short of it.
Mm-hmm.
Solomon understood he was still making an attempt
Right
at the kingdom.
Exactly.
And at the kingship eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Him and that's why he even included Abiathar and told him, you're worthy of death too, because you're a co-conspirator.
Yeah.
But I won't put you to death. But you have to get out of here and you can't be a priest no more.
Right. Exactly.
But with everything you did for my father, I'm gonna show you some mercy for what you did while my father was alive.
Right.
But you a co-conspirator because you sided with him when he thought to have the kingdom. You ran with him.
Right.
And y'all ain't changed.
Right.
From the time that you, in the first chapter where y'all sided together and thought the kingdom should be y'all haven't changed, and you showed me that. And you up to no good.
Right.
So he would put to death, not simply just he won't Abishai, he would put to death because Solomon could find in him the fault that he needed to find in him, and that is he was still up to some wickedness.
Right.
And that's what got him put to death.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else? How we get ready to break? Nobody else? Did I answer your question, young brother? All right. Well, let's stand. And since you asked the question, and I answered it, you get to pray.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Father, we come before you this day. That you to watch over us as we go on break, to protect us and guide us as we go on our way, and to keep our minds stayed on you, that we don't, that we do keep your Sabbath day open. Hallelujah.
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 Hallelujah. Praise the mighty Yahweh. Yah is righteous all the time, both day and night. Hallelujah.
What time is it?
It is 6 o'clock right now.
It's 6 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
All right, 6:30.
6:30, we back.
We back
Hallelujah.
next week. Y'all can get a few more minutes. Nice and sunny. Brother Aaron, oh y'all won. 6:30, we back singing. All right, we're singing.